Hello everyone, this is Daily Joker 77 and I'm back, and as you can tell by the video title, I'm going over one of my Yu-Gi-Oh decks, which would be my vampires. I use these quite frequently. They are terrifying once you get the cards going, and I'll show you combos, optional extra deck, which I gotta separate that from the main deck real quick. Separate all the trap and spells from each other. There we go. And where are the traps ending? Here. And I got the monsters first. Okay. Yeah, we'll go over the monsters first. Just go in order of what you'd go over in your deck. How you build one, of course. Okay, there you go. It's in order. One after the other. Okay. So, you understand, this is a pure vampire type. There is no, like, mixed in. And you'll see it's really odd. There's one warrior, but the rest is zombie. It's really weird, but I'm not the one who came up with the deck. I just tweaked it. I found every single monster of the vampire type that I could find. And yeah, I use it on Master Duel as well, and it's terrifying. Because there's... You'll find out why. Okay, first of all, you're start off with 2 copies of Vampire Familiar, and then you're going to start off with another 2 copies of Vampire Retainer. Sorry, one second. So both of these, if I remember correctly, because I haven't looked at my physical cards, I'm just more used to using the effects. Okay, so whenever either of these are special summoned, you can pay 500 life points. Vampire Familiar searches out your monsters. Retainer searches out your spells and traps. And yeah, it's interesting. And then you banish them once they're used up, or leave the field, they're banished. So, like, their use is up, okay. Then they're banished and in the graveyard this time. But they can come back from the graveyard, which is a useful effect. You can summon them again, then their effects kick in. That's where it's like, oh fuck, I just fucked up destroying that thing. It's like a puppy and a bat. What's the puppy doing? What's the doggo doing? 2 copies of Vampire Baby. Useless. It's there for either defense, or you can use it as tribute if you survive. At the end of the battle phase, if this card is destroyed by a monster... Oh, destroyed a monster by battle and send it to the graveyard. This turn, you can special summon that monster to your field. Whew, that's useful. If it works. It's never worked. I just use them in defense, and then bam, there it goes. Sorry, checking phone real quick, sorry. One second. Oh boy. So true. Oh jeez, that was true. Sorry, reading something on my phone. That's so true. Okay. So you're starting at just going in order of star levels and shit. That's like your first 3, almost, yeah, your last, second to the last, 2 to 3, yeah, second to last 3 stars. There we go. Gonna go with 1 copy of Vampire Ghost. Oh, this is a beautiful card. I love when they do this. Basically, once it's normal or special summoned, you can, if I remember right, I gotta look at the card. You can send one of the vampires to the graveyard, and then you can draw whichever fucking one from your deck to your hand. Yeah, and then, if you do so, you send a level 1 or 2 vampire monster to the graveyard as well. So if you get Retainer, guess what? Second copy, bam, get you more spell cards. It's useful. Or you can send Familiar, get more monsters in 1 fucking turn. And then if it's in the graveyard, you banish this and then pay 500 life points. You normal summon a vampire monster. And you can only use the effects of 1 vampire ghost per turn. Duh. No shit, you can use it twice per turn. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, next you have 2 copies of Vampire Hunter. The only warrior in this deck. And at the start of the damage step, if this card battles a dark monster, which this is a dark as well, destroy that monster. Everything in this deck, mind you, is dark. Every monster is dark. There are no light monsters at all. None whatsoever. So you can have like a 10,000 Dark Dragon XYZ fusion, Link, whatever have you, and it goes bye-bye unless you stop the effect or negate it. Otherwise, it's going bye-bye. Vampire Lady. 2 copies of Vampire Lady. If this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, declare one card type monster, spell, or trap. Your opponent sends one card of that type to the from the deck to the graveyard. Too high for this. So let's say you soup it up with the field spell, and it's like with another power up. Let's say it's at like 3k attack. Swing, destroy the monster, do battle damage. Now they have to send one monster, spell, or trap to the graveyard. They have no choice unless they negate the effect. That's another great tool. And it's a 1550. So, yeah, it's great unless you want some uneven life points to your opponent. Even better. 3 copies of Vampire Sorcerer. I'll tell you why you need 3 copies. I use this, I call it the bait. Just to reel them in. It's like to trick them into attacking. It's in defense or it's an attack, and I just trick them. And, well, if it's sent to the graveyard by the opponent's card, then you can add 1 Dark Vampire monster or 1 Vampire spell or trap from your deck to your hand. I've done that with spells and traps. God, it works beautifully. And then once it's in the graveyard, you can banish the card, and then 1 Dark monster, Vampire monster is normal summoned regardless of the conditions. Yeah, without tributing, so, woohoo! Oh boy. It's a nasty, nasty little trap right there that you set, and then they spring it. Ooh. They learn a lesson. There's a combination, actually, of monsters. I'll tell you one of the beautiful combinations when I get to it. First, there's actually 2 in here. There's 2 combinations. Vampire Lore, 2 copies. It does... And when you inflict battle damage... to your opponent, then you do the same thing like Vampire Lady. They do the same thing, but once per turn during your next standby phase, after this card is in your possession, was destroyed and sent to your graveyard by opponent's card effect, special summon this card from the graveyard. Sorry, I'm like because I'm like looking at it really close. I'm like read. Okay. So that's like a 2k monster. We're moving to the 2ks now. Okay, 1 Vampire Fräulein. This one, not depending on who attacks, it's like whoever attacks, you have this in your hand, then it's going to automatically be summoned to the field in defense. You can pay life points up to 3k to overpower your opponent if need be, and I've done this. I've comboed it with a spell card, and it works like a charm. Oh god. It's so funny because there's other power-up spells in this. Like, you trick them into attacking you or swinging, and then they lose badly. And then, oh boy, there's another great card. There's another great card combination with this. I'll get to that too. I'll get to it because it works so well. Yeah, you'll find out. It's like a little surprise of the deck. It's like how I trick people into swinging. Vampire Dragon, 1 copy. Let's see when this tribute summon card sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 level 4 or lower monster from your deck to your hand. Yeah, I was right on that. Okay, it's 2400. Dangerous little son of a bitch. Vampire Grissom. Now this one, if a monster you control would be destroyed by battle or opponent's card effect, you can pay 1,000 life points for each monster that would be destroyed. Instead, you must protect all your monsters that would be destroyed if you use this effect at the end of the battle phase. If this card has destroyed any monsters by battle, you can special summon them from the graveyard to your field. So, yeah. Sacrifice your life points, you better have something to get them back. Oh, wait. There is something like that in this deck. We'll get to it. Vampire Duke. Now, this is one that can't be used as XYZ material. Once it's normal summon, you can target 1 dark monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in defense. Let's see, what else does it say? You can declare one card type monster, spell, or trap. Your opponent sends one card of that type from their deck to the graveyard. Oh, so 3 cards do that. Interesting. You can only use this effect of Vampire Duke once per turn. Like I said, it's not able to be used as material except for a dark monster, XYZ. Shadow Vampire. Oh, what a useful card. So this one, once it's special or normal summoned, you can special summon whatever monster, vampire monster from your deck you choose, whatever your heart's desire. Oh, there's a great one to summon. It can't attack, though. So regardless of the summoning conditions, it just normal summons it. It's beautiful. Like, let's say you need 2 monsters, special summon this one, or tribute summon. No dice. You don't have to tribute. Bam, right on the field. Do whatever you want with it. This one cannot attack after doing that. So you better choose wisely. You need 2 copies of Vampire's Curse. Let's see if this one is sent to the graveyard. Pay 5 life points, comes back, gains 500 more attack. That makes it 2,500. Right there. You need 1 copy of Vampire Scarlet Scourge, or as I like to say, Alucard. Looks like Dracula's son right there. If this is normal summoned or special summoned, you can pay 1,000 life points and target 1 vampire monster in your graveyard, except Vampire Scarlet Scourge. Special summon it, but it cannot not attack this turn. Almost said target. You can only use this effect of Vampire Scourge once per turn. At the end of the battle phase, if this card destroyed any monsters by battle, you can special summon them from the graveyard to your field. Useful, I've done that. Pisses people off real quick. Vampire Grace. By the way, you gotta have a lot of negate and banishing shit in your deck to stop this. That's the secret. If you can't do that, I was gonna be like, sayonara, you're done. That's it, you lost already. Oof, and this deck is not forgiving. So Vampire Grace. Let's see. If there's like a level 5 or higher zombie monster summoned to your field by the effect zombie monster while this card is in the graveyard, you can pay 2,000 life points, special summon this card from your graveyard. You can only use the effect once per turn. You can play one card type. Oh wow, 4 cards do this. Opponent sends one of that card type from their deck to the graveyard. Whew. Jeez. Now you need, hold on, 2 copies of Vampire Red Baron. This one's an interesting one. Once per turn, you can pay 1,000 life points. Again, 1,000. Then target 1 monster your opponent controls and 1 other vampire monster you control. Switch control of those monsters. Be careful with that. At the end of the battle phase, if this card is destroy any monsters by battle, you can special summon that card from the graveyard to your field. Wow, so a few cards do that. Jeez. Man, that's insane. Okay, here we go. Getting to the big guns now. This is the combo. Vampire Vamp with Vampire Sorcerer. This is your ultimate combo. You don't need 2 monsters now to summon this. You just need Vampire Sorcerer in graveyard. Make sure you get this from your deck. You're going to have 2 copies, so don't worry. You can always get it again if you draw it. And then, if there's anything above 2,000, which this has 2,000, it's in its effect, and it's special summoned. Even if it's special summoned after another special summon of a vampire monster, you can take whatever monster is above 2,000 on your opponent's side of the field and take it to your side and soup up this thing, whatever it may be. It gains attack equal to that, so I was saying a summary of what it does. And if this card gains attack, if this card is sent to the graveyard while equipped with the card by this effect, special summon it again. So it just comes back. It doesn't want to stay dead. Vampire Voivode, or as I like to say, Dracula. 1 copy. Oh, it's a beautiful card. I mean, just look at that. Oh, beautiful. Love this card. So if you special summon it, then you can get 2 other cards from your opponent's graveyard, special summon them to your side of the field in defense, negate their effects. And when a monster's effect is activated, while a monster with the same name is in the graveyard, you can negate the activation of a monster's special summon from your opponent's graveyard. Contribute 2 monsters. Special summon this card from your graveyard. Boom. Yeah, that one's a son of a bitch to deal with. Sorry. Just that's a carpet fiber. Anyway, it's a 2100 defense. Good luck swinging at this thing. I powered this son of a bitch up, and man, it scares people. Finally, Vampire Genesis. Your last cards. that use Vampire Lord, ding ding ding, as a tribute to special summon this. You banish it, get this motherfucker on the field. This does, once per turn, you can discard one zombie monster to your graveyard, then target one zombie monster to your graveyard with level less than discard a zombie monster, special summon that target. Get more monsters on the field, you have a 3k monster. Have fun. So that is your monsters. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. 33 monsters. Should be your exact count if you followed this formula to the letter. Yeah, and then try to use it as best as I do. It's a challenge. It takes a while to get the hang of it, but then you get the hang of it. 3 Vampire Kingdom. 500 attack on damage calculation added to every zombie monster on the field or on your field. So if your opponent has zombies, well, they get a 500 attack boost on damage calculation. Now, when a card is sent from your opponent's deck to the graveyard, target one card in the field, one dark vampire monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. If you do, destroy that target. Throw a Vampire Retainer into the graveyard. Throw a Vampire Familiar into the graveyard. Yeah. You can destroy a card in the field. It's useful. That's a great combo for attack if you just want to soup up your monster. Holy shit, hell yeah. Vampire's Domain. You gain life points equal to the attack damage you do to your opponent. That means if you have 2 of these on the field, you gain double the life points. And wow, can you gain life points. Shit, one duel, almost 30,000 life points by the end. It was insane. Then what you can also do, you can pay 500 life points. You can special summon another monster outside of your normal summon set. Basically, you want to get Dracula on the field, pay 500 life points, tribute 2 monsters, bam, he's on the field. Useful little trick. Oh, that combos with Vampire Fräulein. I will get out that combo for you. Because watch what this does. Where is she at? Fräulein. Where are ya? There you are. Alright, found it. Alright, these two work in tandem, right? You pay equal of your calculation, be exact on your calculations of how many life points you're sacrificing to the 2,000 you have, or the attack of your monster, because it can target another monster and give it attack. Be careful. Be very careful how much you're going to sacrifice. Combo that with the effect of Vampire's Domain to gain the life points. Bam, you have 2 attached to that chain. Guess what? You just gained double the life points, and you can say, bye-bye, I am just going to beat you silly, and you're not even going to be able to stop me. That's the combination. So, I actually, let me see where Dracula is. Oh my god. Because I had Dracula on the field. At the same time, Fräulein was on the field, so I comboed the effect. I comboed the effects of all these together. Dracula was up to 3,800. I was just like, you know what, screw this. I'm going to sacrifice, how much did I sacrifice to get 5,500? Oh, boy, 5,500. Oh, 2,700? No, 1,700. Yeah, 1,700. That was 5,500, and the guy did not learn. This dude didn't learn. I gained those life points doubled. It was great. So all 3 of these were on the field, and I was unscathed. I took no damage to that duel. I just kept kicking ass left and right. Okay. So that's part of your combos with most of your cards in this deck. That's your biggest combos. And hold on, I gotta reorganize this. Give me 1 sec. 5-star. You're a 5-star. Get in here. Bam. Okay. Ready? Vampire Desire. Vampire Desire. I don't use this for a reason. Unless I have to, target one face-up monster you control, send one vampire monster from your deck to the graveyard with a different level. If you do, the targeted monster becomes a level of that sent monster. This may be useful to get your XYZs or your links on the field. More importantly, your XYZs. Your Z summonings. You want to get those on the field quickly because there's quite a few XYZs in this deck. Or target one vampire monster to your graveyard, send one monster you control to your graveyard. If you do, special summon that targeted monster. 2 of these. They suck. I hate this card, but sometimes it was useful. This is where it gets outside of the vampire territory. This is your power-up so far. This is part of your power-ups. Watch this. Mage Power. Every single spell or trap, let's say you have 2 Vampire's Domain. Let's say you have a Vampire Kingdom on the field. All that juicy attack. 500 attack for each of those, plus the Mage Power. Ooh, if you have Dracula on the field, let's say you actually have Vampire Vamp on the field with something with a monster from your opponent. Uh-oh, he's in trouble because you just souped it up to like 10k or 8k. It goes insanely high. You get 500 more attack on damage. Oh, that's a great combo with any of your power-ups, especially these 2, Power of the Guardians. You gain 500 attack and defense for every spell counter on these cards. Chain 2 of these together. You're unstoppable. You take off a counter every time you're attacked. You keep your monster take the damage, so you don't, like, whatever current your attack you're at, you won't take the hit as hard as losing your monster as well. You won't lose it, you just remove a counter, so you have to work back for that counter. But there's a trap card that combos with it. Look at this beautiful card. I have a Monster Reborn. Look at that. As the name implies, target one monster in either graveyard or special summon it. Ignoring the conditions, you special summon that son of a bitch. Pyramid of Wonders. Now, this applies to a zombie deck as well. All zombie monsters you control gain 200 attack for each monster your opponent controls. If one zombie monster you control, no other cards would be destroyed, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. Great combination. Great for keeping your monsters, great for giving you attack. Blockout Curtain. If a card you control would be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can destroy this card instead of one of those cards. If a cards your opponent controls would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead of one of those cards. You can use each effect once per turn. There's your spells. Alright, I'm going to keep Power of the Guardians out because there's an important combo I need to address that really can win the game. Now we're getting back into the Vampire Traps. You need 3 of Vampire Domination. Sorry, Vampire Domination. When a spell, trap, card, or monster effect is activated while you control a vampire monster, it has to be face up. Negate the activation if you do destroy that card. Then if it was a monster card, here's something a little tricky to piss off your opponent. You gain life points equal to the attack of that monster. The original attack. Not powered up, just the original attack. You can only activate 1 Vampire Domination per turn. Useful card. Alright, next. There's a lot of copies in this deck. Be prepared. Vampire Takeover. You don't have your, let's say, Vampire Kingdom. You have something in the graveyard. As long as you have something face up that's a zombie monster, then you can get Vampire Kingdom directly from your deck, activate it, then summon a dark vampire monster from your graveyard in defense. So you need 3 of these. Next, you're going to need 2 Vampire Awakening. Take any monster you want, special summon it from your deck, but destroy it during the end phase of this turn. Now, this is a combo. Guess with what? I'll give you a hint. Vampire Sorcerer. You get that sucker in the graveyard, you have a high-level monster in your hand. Well, even if it's destroyed by battle, hey, you special summoned it, it's in defense, or if it attacked and lost, guess what? You just got a big monster in your hand, you're going to special summon it next turn from your hand without needing to tribute. Skill Successor. Now here's the thing, it goes up, it doubles in attack. Watch this. Target 1 face-up monster you control, it gains 400 attack until the end phase. During your turn, expect the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, can banish this card from the graveyard, then target 1 face-up monster you control, the target gains 800 attack until the end phase. Then it's banished. So, useful card when you're in a tight corner, and you're in a tight pickle, you're in a corner. Ooh, it's useful. Metamorph. Familiar card? It should be. Target 1 face-up monster on the field, equip this card to target against 3 in attack defense. If it attacks, it gains an attack equal to half the attack of the attack target during damage calculation only. Alright, that's another power-up. Useful in a tight spot. These 2 work off each other, Power of the Guardians and Pitch Black Power Stone. Now, this gives you 2 copies of it, so get 2 copies. This gives you 3 spell counters that can be placed on Power of the Guardians, give it a little boost in case you never got one originally. Once all 3 are off of it, once per turn you can do that. Then once all 3 are gone, poof, it goes to the graveyard. Useful trap card. Make sure it activates before you get Power of the Guardians. Even if you have Power of the Guardians, make sure you activate it very quickly when the situation arises. Now, we're getting into your biggest defense. Largest defense besides Vampire Domination. I want to introduce you to something called Mirror Force. Storming Mirror Force. Drowning Mirror Force. You don't like that, do you? You do not like Mirror Force, do you? Okay, you're not. Because guess what? If this is not stopped, not negated, not destroyed, not banished, this will destroy all your attack face-up monsters. Poof! I don't want to see them on the field, so I nuke it. Pretty much it's like, boom, say goodbye to your shit. Storming Mirror Force. This one's a motherfucker. When an opponent's monster declares attack, return all your opponent's attack position monsters to the hand. Ain't that a bitch? This one, once you declare direct attack, every attack position monster shuffled into the deck. That's hilarious. I've used that so much and just laughed my ass off. Okay. Alright, I'll tell you more combos like that. I can do the math and everything for you, so get into the extra deck. Now, this part's optional. 2 link of Vampire Sucker. I hate links. I hate links. 2 zombie monsters required. If you attribute a monster for tribute summon, you contribute a zombie monsters your opponent controls. Even though you do not control them, you can only use 1 effect of this per turn. You can target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard. Special summon it to your opponent's field defense position, becomes zombie monster. That's actually useful. If a zombie monster is special summon from either graveyard, draw 1 card. 2 of those. Next, Vampire Fascinator. 2 copies, another link. Requires 3 monsters. 2 monsters plus including a zombie. So 2. And yeah, 2 plus monsters. Okay, 2 plus. So needs 3. Just like this one does not need 3. This one needs 3. So 2 plus. That's fair. If this card is like summoned, you can target 1 monster your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except zombie monsters. You contribute 1 vampire monster, then target 1 monster your opponent controls, take control of it to the end phase. Boom. That's another way to screw your opponent. Like I said, that's optional. I hate links. I keep them out of the deck at all times now, even on Master Duel. I just got rid of them. Nope. No longer in the deck. Here's your XYZs. 3 copies of Crimson Knight Vampire Bram. Sounds like Bram Stoker's Dracula. Nice ring to it, right? 2 level 5 zombie monsters. This has an effect. And it's a 2500 attack. You can attach 1 material from this card, then target 1 monster your opponent controls in the graveyard. Sorry, your opponent, your monster in your opponent's graveyard. My bad. Special summon that target to your field, but only that monster can attack for the rest of this turn. And once per turn, you can, during the standby phase of the next turn, after this card control is destroyed by your opponent's card sent to your graveyard, special summon in defense. It's hilarious to do that. I've done that so many times. Like, when will you learn this lesson? Next, you need 1 Damphir Vampire Sheridan. Woof, that's a mouthful. To level 6. Or, yeah, it's 2 plus level 6. It can take up to 3 of them. It's insane. If you use a monster with a level that is owned by your opponent for the XYZ summon this card, treat it as level 6. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 card your opponent controls, send it to the graveyard. Once per turn, if a monster card or cards is sent from the field to your opponent's graveyard by a card effect, Vampire Kingdom would work well with this one. Send it to the graveyard. Yeah, your opponent's graveyard, by a card effect or a monster destroyed by battle, sent to your opponent's graveyard. You attach 1 material from this card, special summon 1 of those to your field defense. Nice. Very nice. Very, very nice. Okay. Bread and butter of this deck. The Zombie Vampire. Son of a bitch to get on the field is 2 plus level 8. So it could take quite a few level 8s to get this thing on the field as quickly as possible. If you use a monster with a level that is owned by your opponent, blah, 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 treat it as a level 8. You cannot target this. Neither player can target this card's effects of special summon monsters except those special summoned from the graveyard. You can attach 1 material From this card, each player sends top 4 cards of their deck to the graveyard. Then, if any monsters were sent to either graveyard by this effect, you can special summon one of those monsters into your field. Ooh, that's a tough one to use. Great when you can use it, though. Yeah, I'm going to take these out of the deck eventually and permanently. Okay. So I discussed the biggest combo of your biggest monster. You kind of want to use Genesis, even though it's a little tougher. Use Dracula more often, because that's a better combination. So what's another good one? I said Sorcerer and Vampire Vamp. There's Genesis and Lord. Let's see, what's another good one? Fräulein and Vampire's Domain and Dracula. Shadow Vampire is a great one to use with any combination. Let's see, what else? Vampire Vamp and Sorcerer, yep. There you go. Kingdom goes with anything, that's true. Yeah. The power-up cards are insane. Yeah, this is a whole 60-card deck. Plus the extra deck, which I think is what? Looks like 5 monsters in the extra deck. Not bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. Whew, that's the deck profile of my vampires. I use in Yu-Gi-Oh! And Master Duel. I have a little secret of how I use my vampires in other deck engines. Same with Dark Magician and Blue Eyes. I'm going to have to build them in real life. Ooh, I'm building one of them actually so far. I have another deck that is a one-shot kill pretty much. It's like you get your fusion, get your power-ups, boom. That is game for 8,000 life points. Oof. It is dangerous. Oh yeah, I have a deck box. I mean, just look at how the inside of this looks. It is so soft. Magnetic Seal. Love that. And then I got like this Dark Magician type inspired little logo. Yeah, it's pretty neat. You get deck dividers too. As you can see, you get deck dividers. So I can hold up to 3 full decks pretty much. I think only 40 cards can fit in the next spot. But anyway, see you guys later.